Hello, welcome back to our tutorial series. My name is Arden Thomas. I'm the Cincom Smalltalk product manager. If you have any questions, comments, or feedback, please send it to me, Arden Thomas, athomas@cincom.com. This screencast will show you how to use the ObjectStudio GUI designer. And we're going to try to build something that's more than the hello world that you often get, but something a little more useful and shows you some more meaningful usage of the ObjectStudio GUI designer. So let's get started. If we hover over these icons here, we can see this is Create New Interface. So I'm going to click on that. That gives me this right here. I'm going to create something that shows temperature. So we could call that temperature, but the standard here is to call this temperature controller. I can also specify the package. I can use one that already exists or create a new one. So I'm going to call this temperature apps and click OK. What I now get is this form for my interface and this designer tool. To get widgets here, click on Form Item, New Item, and that gives me this right here. What I want to do is put down a couple labels. That's this right here. When I select this, notice it tells me this is static text. So this is a drag and drop. So I'm going to click, release, click, release. I also want a couple of numeric input fields. If I click on this number field, exactly what I want. I'll drag this once, drag again. And now I've got what I want. Now to give these properties, simply double click on the widget. I can leave this name, which is how I access this programmatically, but I want this to say Fahrenheit, and this one to say Celsius, and click OK. For my input fields, double click. This one is going to be Fahrenheit field. I'll make the maximum length 5. Click OK. And this will be Celsius field, maximum length 5. Click OK. So now we have the basic layout. Let's do something simple and then advance it as we get our simple things working. So I want to do something when I type something into this field. I'm going to come up here to the designer and notice this icon is for events. Let's click on that. This says the Fahrenheit field. When it changes its value, I want to send something to my temperature application. And I don't have the method I want here. So let me click on method, and it gives me Fahrenheit field changed. So now I can code right here. Now to start off, I want to, whenever the Fahrenheit changes, I want to echo the value of Fahrenheit to Celsius. So if I scroll up here, here's the Celsius field, and I want to put a new value there. Click here, notice it puts that code right there. This is some helpers. What do I want to put there? I want to put the Fahrenheit field get value, put that there, and I can save that. And then I can add that. Click OK. Save this work, and right here is test it. So I can type in and it toggles. It echoes exactly what I have in Fahrenheit down to Celsius. So first step is successful. Let's go back and do some more. So to make this more realistic, I want to use a domain model that I use in some other examples, and I have the code for that out here. I'm going to go to Load File, and I have the code right here. .st stands for Smalltalk. Double click that. So now I've loaded that. I can go take a look at it. In Domain Models, temperature. And it tells me temperature is a domain model that holds and can convert temperatures in Fahrenheit and Celsius. So it actually stores it in Fahrenheit. So if I give it a new Fahrenheit, it stores it. If I give it a Celsius, it converts it from Celsius into Fahrenheit. Then if I ask for Fahrenheit, it gives it. If I ask for Celsius, it converts it from what the current temperature is. So we are going to use this. How might we use it? Well, let's go back here. Let's go to Tools, Methods. I want to write a new method to use that domain model. So let me click on New. I'm going to create an initialize method. And I'm going to say temperature gets, and that domain model I brought in is under the Smalltalk namespace, not under the ObjectStudio. So in order to specify it, I'm going to say Smalltalk.temperature new, period. I'm missing something here. First thing I always want to do in initialize is super initialize, period. Save. Do I want to subclass this? Yes, I do want to do that. And close. Let's make sure we're still working okay. We're still doing our echoing. So let's fix that. Let's go to Tools, Methods. Pull this down. Shows me all my methods. Fahrenheit field changed. Let's have this, instead of echoing, we're going to use our temperature. We'll get the Celsius value from it and put that into the Celsius field whenever Fahrenheit changes. But wait a second, how is it going to get that? Well, we're going to say to the temperature, we're going to give it the new Fahrenheit value by saying Fahrenheit field, get value, write that. Okay, we'll put a period there. We'll then save this and close it. We'll save our application. Let's try it out. If I say 55 again, we get a conversion. If I say 212, that's 100 Celsius. I also know that 32 Fahrenheit is 0 Celsius. So that appears to be working so far. All good. But next I want to be able to type something in here and get the Fahrenheit conversion. So let's take a look at that. Close this. I get my tools again. Click on the Celsius field, events, Celsius field. When it changes, send something to temperature and create that method. Okay, so here's what I've written, and there's a little more to it to avoid an infinite loop. So the first thing I do is ask my temperature domain model for its Celsius, and I see if that's already what we have in the Celsius field. If they're the same, I don't want to do anything. And this prevents an infinite loop of going back through and constantly pushing the values in an infinite loop. But if they're not the same, I tell my model, here's the new Celsius, the Celsius field's value, and then I push into the Fahrenheit field, puts value, the temperature model's Fahrenheit. I can then save this, add this, okay, save. I'm going to come back to methods and put that same fix in here. And here's what that looks like. Is my domain model's Fahrenheit the same as my Fahrenheit field's value? If they're the same, I want to do nothing. If they're not the same, I want to give the domain model the new value and then tell the Celsius field, here's your conversion in Celsius. We'll save that, close that, and come back up to our test. I can test, let's see, 212 Fahrenheit is 100 Celsius, 33 is that. Let's type something here, 100 in Celsius is 212 Fahrenheit. So there we have it, working both ways in a semi-realistic application that we've created using the ObjectStudio GUI designer and using a domain model and guarding against an infinite loop. So much more realistic than a hello world type application. And I hope that gives you a better idea of how to properly use the ObjectStudio GUI designer. There will be a part 2 follow-up to this where we show you a few more things that we can do. Until next time, have a great time with Smalltalk. Thank you.